Hey! So I finished up the install on your Warsabers Starkiller V4. I want to do a little demo going through the install itself. So here's your Starkiller Hilts. It's got the brass crystal chamber, got this glass eye over here, as well as a heat-stained emitter ring. So in the package it also comes with a non-heat-stained version. You can just swap it out, you can just unscrew this and swap the new emitter ring in. So down here, or up here, we have our control box. We got our main switch up here. So there's a tactile switch underneath this card, as well as an auxiliary switch. On the side, you have a USB-C port. So this is now wired up to the Proffie, so you can handle data transfer as well as slow charging via this port. We got our cover tech clocked to align with this crystal chamber rod over here. We have the copper ring down here, which came originally with the kit, and the pommel down there. So to access the internals, unlike most hilts, this one actually uses a retention screw right there to make sure that the body piece aligns with this brass rod. So you want to take a 1.5mm Allen key and just loosen that. Trying to be careful not to touch the rest of the hilt with it. Just loosen that up. Make sure you have it off to the side so you don't lose that small screw. And then just unscrew the body section. So the pommel itself does come off as well, but you don't actually need to unscrew that anymore. So here is your gray PTG chassis. You got your Proffie v3.9 there. Got the 18650 battery back here. We have two accent LED strips right now, which serve as battery indicators. You have a kill switch kind of hidden in there, as well as a 28mm bass speaker. So to insert and remove the battery, I like to dig my fingernail on the positive end, or in the positive end, and just pry it out like that. So in the battery holder, you'll notice that it's marked positive and negative. That way you can kind of insert the battery in the correct orientation. There's a spring side for the negative side, button top for the button top side of the battery. And then when I'm inserting the battery, I like to insert it negative side first because my chassis does have this lip here. It helps to hold the battery in a little bit tighter. So just insert it negative side first, compress it, and then just kind of slot it in place. To turn on the saber, you want to flip the kill switch on. So right now it's to the left, which is off with this O symbol here. On is this I symbol here. So just flip it over there to turn the saber on. So right now the battery has about maybe like 30%. So in the middle is a pulsating battery indicator. It kind of goes through from red as like a depleted battery to green, which is a fully charged battery. So right now it's about 30 to 40%. To the sides, I have it segmented so that it shows the current blade color. So currently it's on a red blade style. Up here are the boot and reset switches if you ever need to put the board into bootloader mode. If you have a failed upload for some reason or your computer isn't reading it, hold down the front switch over here. So the one that is on the Proffie side, hold that down and then tap the back switch. That will put it into bootloader mode. If you need to reset it, just toggle the kill switch. So let's put the body section back on. So just screw it, not all the way in. So there's about there is where it's kind of like all the way screwed in. I'm gonna back out just a little bit. Take your retention screw again, and then tighten that back up. You wanna make sure that the thread hole matches along with the brass rod, because there is a channel, kind of like an indent in the threads where the screw goes. So just wanna make sure that you line that up so you don't damage the threads. So you have smooth swing, so it's accent swings. blaster blocks. Flash and clash. So you see that in the crystal chamber, there is kind of like an LED strip at the back. So it kind of has that animated effect where it runs up the crystal chamber. The crystal itself also mimics auxiliary effects like blaster blocks. And so back here you also have a lit button section. So there are two NeoPixel LEDs down there, which also mimic the current blade color. So let's put a blade in here. On this hilt, it takes a 1-inch diameter blade, and the blade retention screw isn't actually this one on the current model. It's actually this greebly back here. So usually this is where the kind of like the red button would go on a Graflex. So just loosen that up a little bit. Insert your blade. Make sure it's not catching on this piece. And then just push the blade in. So I am using my own NeoPixel connector, which has a blade detection pin. That way it's able to detect when the blade is making contact, and it's able to detect when the blade has been removed. So just seat that in all the way and then tighten down this greebly, your blade retention knob. So we also have a shine through glass eye over here.
Red.
So on this saber and the Revan that I've also installed, I've loaded some of the free fonts from Cyberphonic. So the first one was the kind of Battlefront font. These ones are Galaxy's Edge fonts, so starting with red,
Blue.
going to
Blue. Green.
green,
Yellow. Purple. White.
and then back to the first font. So there you go. There's your Warsabers Starkiller V4. I'll be including the SD card, I'll be including the config file on the SD card, and I'll email both the config files for this Starkiller as well as the Revan to you. So as always, thank you so much for letting me work on this, and may the Force be with you.